blessing you. I'd like to talk to you about something that the church, I think, has neglected over the years and has not done a very good job of dealing with. And I think it has caused a lot of issues for a lot of folks. And I think one of the reasons is that it has been taught wrong and dealt with wrongly, and that is the issue of mental illness in the church. Um, are there mentally ill folks? Yes. Do they need help? Yes. And I know even our secular society, we don't have the mental institutions that we used to have. Mental health institutions used to be very big and large, and there were different laws about it. Um, I don't know how to deal with that part, but I do understand this part of the church does not need to be afraid of those who are dealing with mental illness. And I'm talking everything from depression to anxiety to suicidal ideations, schizophrenia, bipolarism, you know, you name it, paranoidism, anything that might be in the DSM-5 that needs to be addressed. The church needs to learn how to deal with it. And we don't need to shun these folks because Jesus came what? For those who were hurting, those who were downtrodden, and many times those who are dealing with mental illness have not been given a fair shake within the church, and they need that help. And if Jesus is not going to help, then who is? And if the church is not going to help, then who really is? They have been misunderstood. I know years ago, well, they've all got demons. No, I'm sorry, that's not it. Demon possession and mental illness are two totally separate issues. We need to, first of all, have folks who are trained pastors who understand counseling, who have had introduction to counseling courses. Maybe folks, I've went a little bit further. I'm working on a doctorate in pastoral care and counseling because of these types of issues. I want to help and do that. We need pastoral counselors and others to help. But it also is going to take those who are willing to bear the burdens of those who may be dealing with these issues. And yes, they're hard. It's not easy to deal with these issues, but this is where the love of God comes in, bearing with one another, carrying those burdens and dealing with them. And I think if we could take a different look than we have in the past, we could do a great deal in the church to help with this issue. Now, also, I do think that churches and pastors are the on-ramp to the interstate, if you will, of folks getting help. Most of what you deal with, I can only help in certain ways and for a very short time. But I can refer. I can get help for people. I can, at least refer them and encourage them to go see a mental health professional. And we need to stop the stigma, especially that is attached with somebody who goes to see a mental health professional. No, we don't need to, well, they're crazy. No. There are people who are seeking help and trying to get help. And I pray today that we would be sensitive to those things and that we would be caring to folks who are dealing with those. May even be in our own families and maybe even us from time to time. All of us, maybe we're dealing with some of these very things. And I pray today that God would